Hello, thank you so much for joining today. Let's start today's practice by coming into a comfortable seated position of your choice. It can be on a block or a pillow, you could be crisscross applesauce, or maybe extending the legs long. You could even bring your back up against a solid surface for a little extra support if you'd like. As we settle in, we make sure our hands are resting, our shoulders are starting to release. The jaw isn't tense. Feel free to take any movement as you settle in here so that you can start to come to a place of calmness, almost stillness even. We'll allow ourselves to take just this moment to scan through the body, noticing if there are any aches or pains, any tweaks or twinges, any strong sensations of any sort that want your attention in this moment. Not to judge them or be upset by them, but just simply to acknowledge them. Make sure they're hanging out in the back of our mind as we move and practice today. Really allowing yourself to start to connect with the sensations of the body. And just like we're checking in with those physical sensations, take a moment to check in with any emotional or mental sensations as well. Even checking in with your energy level, noticing whether you're feeling full of energy in this moment, lots of springtime energy flowing through you, or after a busy week, you're feeling maybe a little tired and run down. And then even take it a little deeper. Notice whether you're feeling hungry or full. Really connecting with this moment, with our body in this time and space for just a moment longer. Beautiful job. Now let's pay attention to the breath itself. As we start to get into our breathing exercise for today, we'll come into an equal breath, breathing in and out through the nose if it's available. We want to smooth out our inhale. It can be as long or short as feels good for you. And then as you exhale, smoothing the transition between the inhale and the exhale, maybe just a little bit. We'll notice that we're exhaling the same amount of time that we're inhaling. You're always welcome to add a count if that would help with the focus. Breathing in maybe for a 4 or a 6 count, and then exhaling for that same 4 or 6 count. We'll take this for just a few more cycles on your own. Breathing in, breathing out, allowing you to connect with your breath just a little bit more. Speaking of connections today, human connection is one of the greatest healers we have at our disposal. Human touch and laughter is some of the greatest medicine on earth. Sometimes I do forget this, and I get on a streak of thinking that I'm so independent and I don't need anyone. And while yes, being independent is good too, we tend to forget the necessity of the human connection. Connection and touch and laughter remind us that we are not alone in this life. As Christopher McCandless wrote in Into the Wild, happiness is only real when shared. So please don't stop being that strong and independent person that you are. But also, see if you can invite in the magic and healing that connection with other beings can bring. So as we breathe here for just a moment longer, we'll sit together in silence, virtually feeling each other's presence, feeling an unspoken connection that can heal us both. Beautiful, John. If you're still taking that equal breath in and out of your nose, we'll go ahead and start to release that breath, finding our natural, authentic rhythm of inhaling and exhaling without trying to change it or force it in any way, just letting it come back into its natural rhythm. Throughout our practice today, you may want to come and connect with that equal breath practice once more. So know that it's available to you at any point in time during our practice. We'll take one last moment here in this grounding meditation to offer ourselves a little bit of gratitude. That we took time out of our busy day to slow things down and really form some connections to our breath, to our movement, and to any other connections today. As you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. We'll flutter the eyes open, and we'll start to add some gentle movement into our practice. Now, if you chose to sit crisscross applesauce for that opening meditation, go ahead and take and switch the cross of your legs. So that way we're balancing things out just a little bit. And if you didn't, that's okay. Just go ahead and keep your legs out long in that comfortable position that you're currently in. All right, we're going to start by working on the muscles around our eyes. We do this every so often. You may be familiar with what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and take our right arm. We're going to lift our right arm about shoulder height. We're going to make a fist out of our hand, except for we're going to keep our thumb sticking out. And let's keep it pointed to the right, to the opposite side, to the left side of the room. All righty. Now for this first movement, we're actually not going to move anything but our eyeballs. So we're going to keep our head as perfectly still as possible. Our spine as perfectly still as possible. There'll be some movement throughout the arm, but otherwise we're following the thumb with our gaze. And as we inhale, we start to lift that thumb up as high as feels good. Don't lift the head, just follow the thumb with the gaze. Once you reach the top, exhale out, take it down. Again, the head doesn't move, just the eyes. And take this at your own pace, maybe even finding that equal breath, inhaling up, exhaling down, following the movement with your eyes, stretching those eye muscles just a little bit here today. You know, you can move as fast or as slow as feels good for your body, your arm, and your eyes. All right, great job on that side. Go ahead and release the right arm down. We'll bring that left arm up, same thing, shoulder height, creating a fist, sticking the thumb out. But this time, let's let the thumb come up like you're about to take over eye. All righty, we're giving the thumbs up here. We're gonna do the same thing. Head stays still, spine stays still, the arm's gonna move, and the eyes are gonna move. This time we're gonna go left to right. Again, matching the breath with your movement, finding that equal breath, following the thumb with your peripheral vision as you go left to right. Great job. Go ahead and release that left hand. Go to the first side, the right hand. Go ahead and make that fist thumbs up. And this time we're going to take it in a circle, up, around, and down and back to the right. We're going to follow that thumb with our gaze, letting our eyes be the only movement besides the arm. And our breath. Okay, releasing right arm, inhaling, left arm up and up, thumbs up. And then we're gonna reverse this. So we're gonna go up, over to the right, down and around. Now this circle can be as big or as little as feels good for your vision as you're taking this circular movement, trying really hard not to move the head, the chin, or anything else, just the eyes and the arm. Doing great. Last time around. Next time your fingers over to the left, go ahead and release it. Well, if we have glasses, we'll take our glasses, setting them off to the side for just a moment. We'll take our hands, we'll begin to rub our hands together vigorously. Matter of fact, rub them together so vigorously that you really feel heat building between the palms of your hand with the friction that you've created and that connection. Keep going until the heat feels really hot. And then when you feel like it's the hottest it's gonna get, go ahead and pause, bringing the hands to the eyes, closing the eyelids, letting the balls of the hands rest against those eyelids, letting those muscles relax with the heat that you've created from the connection in your hands. All right, once that has dissipated, go ahead and release the hands. Go ahead and flutter the eyes open. If you had glasses, go ahead and put them back on. You're doing a great job today. All right, let's go ahead and squeeze our shoulders up towards our ears, really scrunching and contracting those muscles. And then with a sigh and an exhale, let the shoulders drop. Take this a couple times on your own, really squeezing the shoulders up by your ears and then exhaling to sigh them down. Last time, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Big release on the exhale. Alrighty. Now we're going to start to swim through the shoulders. So we're going to take them up and around and back, going at an alternating pace so that one arm is circling while the other one is not. Now you can keep your hands on your lap or you can bring them down towards the floor, but we're circling through those shoulder joints, noticing how they feel. We're going to warm up all through the body today. All right, let's reverse those, taking those swims forward, shoulder swims forward. All righty, go ahead and come back to your straight spine. Well, let the hands come down by the floor outside of each hip. And then we're gonna flip the palms so they face the ceiling, rotating through the shoulder cup. And then as we inhale, slowly push the air away from you as you let the arms float overhead. Now they can stay wide or they can come together. What feels best for you is what we're doing here. And then we're gonna flip the palms back towards the floor, rotating again through that shoulder joint, slowly pushing the air away as we come back down. And let's take that for 3 cycles of breath, equal breath with on your own. Inhaling up, flipping, exhaling down. Great job. We're gonna pause there. We're gonna bring our left hand to shoulder height, flip the palm away from us so that the fingers are pointing down towards the ground. We're gonna take a finger stretch through each of our fingers, stretching through the top of the wrist. As we do, we inhale, pull a finger back towards your wrist. And as we exhale the equal breath, we release. You're gonna make your way through all of your fingers till you make it to your thumb. Instead of pulling it down though, we'll pull the thumb out to the side and back to the wrist. So take this at your own pace, one finger at a time. You might feel some cracking, some snapping, that's okay. Maybe take a shake or a wiggle before you switch to the second hand. Maybe shake and wiggle after both hands. Beautiful job. Our next inhale, we'll let the hands float up to a T. We'll make them into fists once more, and then let's do some wrist circles. Little tiny wrist circles out to the sides. We'll go in one direction a few times. And then let's switch it up, going in the other direction. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring the hands back down to the lap. And we'll send the legs out long here into a seated staff position, letting our stretch out through our legs, and feeling free to keep a bend in the knees or pressing through the heels. You can even pull those toes back towards your shins, really activating through the calves just a little bit. Great job. With our next inhale, let's bend our right knee, bringing it in towards our chest. And then you can bring your opposite hand back behind you as a little bit of support. Begin to lift that foot off the floor and let's point and flex the toes a few times. Great job. Let's take a few ankle rolls. And then reverse it. Great job. Send that leg out long. Inhale, left leg or opposite leg curls in. Point and flex. Getting a little compression at the hip as well as moving through the ankles. And let's circle through the ankles now. And reverse it. All right, beautiful job. Send that leg out long to meet the other. We're gonna pause here before we come over into a tabletop. Bringing knees under hips and hands under shoulders. We'll take just about 3 or 4 breaths of equal breath in cat-cow. Letting your inhale open your heart, letting your exhale curl and round. Great job. After that last cycle, go ahead and come back through your tabletop. And then we'll walk our hands a little bit forward. You can keep the knees together or you can widen them as far as the mat. And as we exhale, we'll sink down into a child's-like pose, dropping the forehead down towards the mat. Your hands can be on the floor or even on some props here, if that would feel like a great option. All right, we're gonna walk the hands over to the right side of our space, coming into a side bend here. And you could even walk the left hand maybe a little bit further than the right hand. Or you could put the left hand stacked on top of the right hand. Beautiful job. Come back through center. We're gonna take it to the left. Right hand reaches a little farther or stacks on top. Beautiful. Go ahead and come back through center. We'll inhale to lift up halfway, and then we're gonna take a similar flow, but this time we're gonna bring our elbows either to the ground or onto our props. And we're gonna bring our hands to a prayer. So it's a little deeper into the stretch. We'll stay in the middle at first, letting our head drop in between those elbows. A little or a lot, and letting the prayer hands start to come towards the back of our head or the back of our shoulders. Noticing that big, beautiful stretch through the armpits. Inhale, halfway lift, stay on your elbows. We're going to move the elbows over to the right side of our space. Now we're going to leave that left elbow on the ground, but we're going to begin to lift the right elbow. So we're prayer twisting this child's pose. Exhale to release the right elbow. Walk the elbows through center over to the left side. Right elbow stays down. Left elbow starts to lift. Twisting your prayer. Child's pose. Beautiful job. Let that elbow come back to center. And then inhale. Let's roll up to a straight spine. Beautiful. From here, let's come on up to our first standing pose. Getting there in our own time and in our own way. Maybe grabbing a sip of something to drink. On your way. All righty, we come into our mountain pose. Let's inhale, allow the arms to float up and overhead, reaching up. Now, as always, you're welcome to have a prop nearby for just a little bit of support here. And we're going to start to explore lifting one heel and then putting it down. Lifting the other heel, you can go back and forth a couple of times. Or if you're feeling very balanced today, maybe lifting both heels up at the same time. Keeping a spot on the floor that's not moving. This really helps the balancing. All right, both heels come down. And then let's swan dive the fingers down, taking it into our first forward fold. Pressing into our hands, we halfway lift, figure 7. Our core is tight. Our legs are straightening just a little bit. Exhale, hinge into your forward fold. Bend the knees deeply, sink the hips, take a slow roll, coming all the way up to standing. Once the shoulders and head arrive, you can circle the hands back up. Tall mountain. Great job. We're going to either bring our right hand to our right hip or circle our left wrist with our right fingertips. And as we exhale, we're going to start to hinge over to the right. Inhale through center. Again, left hand comes down or captures the right hand. Lean to the left. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale, cactus the arms, pulling the heart forward, squeezing the shoulder blades back, lifting the chin as high as feels good. Beautiful job. Exhale, allow the hands to come down. Take any movement that you might need. Beautiful job. All righty, from our mountain pose, let's step our right foot out to the right. So it's at a bit of an angle and the knee is pointing towards the right. And then we're going to take that left foot back into a high lizard lunge. Now you can keep your hands on props inside of that right knee if you'd like. We have a nice generous bend in both of our knees. Or maybe start to bring your hands up to that front knee, maybe to a prayer, or maybe start to lift them high in the air. Really focus in on your hips, that both hip points are pointing right in front of you, even though that right knee is off to the right just a little bit. Beautiful. Wherever your hands are, circle them down inside of that right foot on the floor or on a prop. And then leave the left hand down and begin to straighten that front leg as you circle the same hand as the front leg, the right hand, up and overhead and then back behind you. Pulling that right hip in the same direction as the hand behind you. Beautiful stretch there. Circle it, but down to front inside that right knee. Start to bend through the right knee and then step the back foot in, mountain pose or forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot out to the left for your lizard lunge. Step the right foot back. Take your moment to set up. Making sure you're feeling nice and strong through your foundation. And then again, maybe keeping hands on the props or maybe bringing them to your knees or maybe lifting them up to your prayer or up alongside the ears. Beautiful lizard lunge. Be mindful of your hip points. They're pointing straight ahead, even though the knee is a little to the left. Beautiful lizard lunge. Exhale, circle hands inside of that front foot. Begin to straighten that front leg, keeping the right hand down. As we take the left hand, spiral it out in front of us. Circle it behind us. Beautiful job. Bring that hand back. Bend through the knee. Walk the back foot in. Beautiful job. From here, we're going to take a moment in our forward fold. You're welcome to grab opposite elbows as we take it into a rag doll. We'll bend the knees, maybe lifting heels, swaying from side to side. You can move through the neck. You can slide the jaw, anything to let you connect with this moment of release, maybe a couple of sighs on your exhales. Great job. Go ahead and pause there, bringing the hands back down to their previous location. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, drop the hips, slow roll, tall mountain. Great job. Let's bring the right hand to the hip or take the bind of the left wrist. Lean it to the right. Come back through center, switch sides, lean to the left. Come back through center. Now we're going to twist from the hips, turning to the right, letting palms face out as we twist one hand behind us, one hand in front. Beautiful job. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist it to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, cactus the arms. And then bring it through a prayer at heart center. Alrighty, take your feet just a little bit wider than hip distance to give yourself some more balance here. We're going to take a sunflower or sundial pose. You might be familiar with this. We're going to bring either the hands clasped into a nice scissor lock here, or you could grab opposite wrist, opposite elbows, or maybe even just bring a strap in between your hands. We're trying to make basically a circle between our body and our arms. And then as you inhale, let those arms float up to their highest point. Alrighty, we're going to start going to the right as we start to drop our right elbow towards our right hip, knee, or calf. Once you reach the point of where you feel is your good stopping point, pause there, allow that left elbow to come over to the left side, right elbow rotates out and then leads the way as you come back up. And we'll take this a couple times going to the right, like a sunflower chasing some sun. Hiding when it's cloudy or night. Popping back up when it's sunny. Okay, go ahead and pause at the center, and then we're going to take it in the opposite direction. So we'll lead with the left elbow, flip to the right, lead with the left elbow back up. Again, just how big or shallow of a movement this is depends on what feels best in your body. All right, last time on this side, coming through center. Exhale, releasing the arms. Let them float behind your back. This time we're going to take a bind behind our back, maybe grabbing opposite hands, interlacing the fingers, grab opposite wrist, opposite elbows. Again, maybe that strap is in between your arms. Or even here, you can just grab the back of your shirt and let it tug down. So wherever you're at, you're pulling your knuckles down, you're lifting your heart, you're lifting your chin, you're rolling those shoulder blades back. Now let there be a soft bend in the knees, maybe a little sway. You settle in here. And then we're going to start to take it into a forward fold. So we're going to start to bend through the knees, shift the hips back as you hinge forward. You can keep those hands on the hips. You can maybe start to lift them off the hips a little or a lot. Or for more stability, releasing the bind and bringing your hands down to some props. We'll take just a few more breaths here in our forward fold of our choice. Our next exhale releases hands to the hips and then let them flow down towards the prop of your choice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, bring it down through a prayer into your mountain pose. Great job. Let's get into the lower body just a little bit more. So we'll step that right foot back for a high lunge this time. Both knees are bent. Our hips are stacked right in line with our core. We're pulling the thigh muscles towards each other, our belly button towards our spine. Hands can be on your hips, a prayer. Maybe you lift them up high. Beautiful job. Let's take this into a twist as we open our hands, just like we did in that standing variation, towards the front knee, the left knee. We'll open the hands wide, palms to the side. Great job. Play the left hip like a guitar as you come back through your crescent lunge. And then let's straighten both legs. Hinge into a forward fold over that front leg. Now, if you're feeling this strongly in the ligament of the knee, add a gentle bend, moving it into the meat of the muscle. The back foot, the heel can be lifted, or you could even step it in if you like, so that the heel can come down. Noticing this beautiful breath here. Great job. Now take your left hand take your right hand, the same one as the back leg, over onto your opposite block. You can bend through that front knee a little and then twist your left hand up. We're revolving. And if that feels too unstable, maybe leaving your hand on the right side of the foot. Great job. Bring the left hand back down. We're gonna hop a little on that back foot until we can come up into our forward fold. Beautiful job. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step it back, high lunge on the left side. Take your time to build your foundation. Sink it in on your exhale. You're doing a beautiful job. Last breath here. Exhale, twist towards the front leg. Play the guitar on your way back forward. Straighten the leg, hinge and forward fold. Again, feel free to hop that back foot in if you want to come down onto the heel. Excuse me. Alrighty, last breath here in our pyramid pose. Now we're gonna revolve it. The left hand can stay on the left side of the foot, or to go a little deeper into the twist, bring it on the outside to the right side of the foot. And then again, you're welcome to bend that front knee as you start to take a twist towards the right. Beautiful job. Exhale to bring it back through center. Start to shift off that back foot a little or a lot. And then when you're ready, step it up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, cactus. And prayer. Great job. Now we're going to take the legs wide. Matter of fact, as wide as feels good, with the toes out and the heels in. Actually, that's wrong. Heels are behind the toes, actually. That was last week's that we started with the toes in or out. This week, we're in alignment. All right. We're inhaling, we're coming up to our 5-pointed star, reaching those fingertips as high and wide as we can. Beautiful. With our next exhale, allow the arms to come to a T as you hinge into your forward fold, keeping a flat back, the gaze stays down. And then when you're ready, maybe bringing the hands to the props, to your legs or to the floor as we come into a forward fold here. You can have the legs straight or a gentle bend in them, as feels appropriate in your body. We'll take one last breath in this forward fold, and as we inhale, we lift halfway. We're going to bring that right hand directly under the face. We're going to bend through the right knee and then spiral to the left. Dropping left hand to replace right hand, bending left knee, spiral to the right. Exhale to bring them back through forward or hinging half fold. Inhale, take a slow roll to 5-pointed star, unfurling the limbs back up. Great job. From here, we're going to take both hands to the right hip, to the right knee, to a prop by the right foot, or even down to the right foot if that's part of your practice. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale to the left. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Take it at your pace, left to right. So again, maybe your point of touch is the knee. Maybe your point of touch is the ankle. Maybe your point of touch is the hip. Maybe it's a prop. It's up to you. How fast you're going, how slow you're going, how deep you're going. These are all things that you are connecting with as you move here today. Last one on each side. Inhale through 5-pointed star. Alrighty, from here, we're gonna turn the heels in so the toes are pointing out. You can even step it in a little if you're feeling a little too wide. Inhale up. Exhale, sink it into a goddess squat, bending both knees, bending into the elbows. We're pulling our heart forward in a cactus. Been here before. Now, feel free to take some movement here. Maybe you're lifting one heel or the other. Maybe you're lifting both heels. Maybe you're bouncing or swaying. Beautiful job. At any point, you're welcome to come back into your 5-pointed star as a release and then sink it back in. You're doing great. Our next exhale, we're going to see if we can go a little bit deeper. Inhale, explode to your 5-pointed star. Beautiful job. Bringing hands to the hips. We'll step in to our mountain pose. Beautiful job. Inhale, arms circle up, tall mountain. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips so you can come down onto the mat in a seated position. Let's set the right leg long and then tuck the left foot up into the inner thigh of that right leg, letting the left knee open out to the side. As we inhale, we'll circle the arms up and overhead. We'll think up and over, pulling our heart towards our toes as we hinge into a forward fold. You can keep your hands on your legs, your foot. You can grab a strap and wrap it around it if you'd like, or just rest your hands on the mat. Inhale to roll up to a straight spine. We're then going to take that extended knee. We're going to curl it into our chest, getting a little bit of compression there as we do. And then with our next inhale, start to lift it into a half happy baby. So a 90-ish degree bend in the knee as we draw the knee towards our outer rib cage. Now that left leg is still just hanging out there as a nice counterbalance. And then let's exhale to drop that knee, drop that right foot over the left knee. So we're going to come into a nice twist here. Inhaling, straighten the spine. Now that left leg can stay bent, or it might feel better to extend that here if that feels better for your body. I'm going to sit up tall through the spine. We're going to capture that top knee with the opposite elbow. We're going to bring our hand behind us to straighten our spine as we start to look over towards that shoulder. Great job. Exhale to unwind the spine and uncross the legs. We'll send the left leg long, tuck the right leg, let the right knee fall out to the side. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, up and over, heart leans towards the toes. Maybe we curl chin to chest. Big, beautiful breath here. Inhale, roll up to a straight spine. Bring that extended leg with you as we hug the knee in towards the torso, getting just a little bit of compression, and then open up into half baby or half happy baby. Great job. Then exhale, crosses it over the opposite knee. Again, that leg, that right leg can go out long, or you can leave it tucked up under. We begin to hug the top knee with the opposite elbow as we take our hand behind us to lengthen through the spine, twisting here. Exhale to unwind the spine and untwist the legs, bringing them back extended long in that seated mountain. We'll drop the hands behind us, pointing the fingertips away. We're gonna take a nice shoulder opener here. So here's where we're at. You can start to point your toes away from you so that the heels are the main support on your heels, on your lower body. Now you can stay right here, lifting the heart just like in a cactus pose, lifting the chin, squeezing the shoulder blades. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, start to lift the hips off the floor a little or a lot, maybe even bringing them all the way up so that you have a straight front body in a reverse plank pose. One last breath wherever you're at. Exhale, lower hips, flex through the toes. Great job. Go ahead and wiggle the toes back and forth and release those hands. Our next exhale, we're gonna grab a block or a book or something nearby that we can use as a prop. We'll roll down onto our back and we'll bring our feet up into a constructive rest, cinching those feet up close to our hips. And then as we inhale, we're going to peel one vertebra at a time off the mat, coming into a bridge pose as we squeeze those glutes, lifting the hips, take it a little bit higher. You're doing a great job. And then go ahead and grab that block or maybe a pillow or a book and slide it under your hips. So you're at a nice resting back bend here. Now, depending on what prop you're using, it could be at any height that feels good for your body. Maybe your hands rest alongside you, or maybe they're on your torso somewhere. You're doing great. Find that equal breath here. Last breath in this back bend. Our next inhale squeezes the glutes to lift it off the block so we can remove it or the prop of our choice. And then just as slowly as you can, allow one vertebra at a time to release, curling back down to the floor. Once the hips arrive, go ahead and tuck the tailbone, move the feet a little wider than hip distance, and let's windshield wiper the knees a little left to right. Releasing that back bend. The next time the knees are to the right, go ahead and pause there. You can shift the hips. You can keep the legs staggered or you can stack them. You could even add a prop or two if you'd like. Your shoulders reach down towards the mat. Your arms can open wide into a cactus or a T. And your gaze can go in any direction that feels good. So maybe it's in the same direction as your knees. Maybe you're taking your gaze towards the ceiling. Or maybe you're taking it over towards the opposite shoulder. But no matter where the gaze is at, the neck feels supported. And you can even close the eyes here, falling back into that slow but equal breath. Great job. Go ahead and bring the knees and gaze through center. Take it to the other side, making any adjustments on that side because it might feel different than the other side. And so you might want to maybe take a bind or stack or stagger the knees differently. Maybe closing the eyes and finding that deep breath once more. Deep, equal breath. Beautiful job. Last inhale there. As we exhale, our head and knees come through center. And then from here, we'll move into our final resting pose of choice. And always stay in that constructive rest. And extend the legs for a corpse pose. Maybe you'd add some props like a pillow or a blanket, sweaters or socks. Feel free to make any movements, any adjustments, so that you can start to completely relax on command. We'll take a deep breath in, we'll hold it at the top, and then as we pause there, we'll take in one more sip of air. One more, and then exhale slowly, steadily, feeling yourself transition to this inward connection. As we connect inwardly, we'll notice our breath. We don't want to change it in any way. No need for an equal breath or anything else. We start to come into this place of connecting. And then we'll begin to let go of our focus on the breath itself. As maybe we just connect with the words that are spoken. Letting our body relax, grow heavier, connect. Love, compassion, loving kindness, peace. Simply allow yourself to breathe, breathing in and breathing out. Take this moment to notice that breath in and out. And then notice your own body. Notice your body and yourself in your space, in your room. Noticing the parts of you that are touching the floor or another surface. And noticing the air around your skin. Now we'll start to bring our awareness to the other humans that surround us. Maybe it's people close by in our living arrangements. Maybe it's people who we work with or are in community with. Maybe it's you and me here in this space. But I start to invite you to be together in silent witness. Noticing the virtual or the real energy of others. Noticing the other people in our lives. Appreciating their presence. Knowing that they've watched a sunset over the water. And they sat high on granite in the mountains. They've touched their hearts watching vast stars. And they've held someone they loved. They asked and pleaded for their wishes to be granted. And they've searched for something more. They've longed for love, been loved, and have loved. They've stayed up late on fire with something they believe in, knowing that this is the greatest love. We bring our awareness to the beings in life beside us, noticing their presence, appreciating their energy, knowing they have been uncomfortable. They have been comforted and needed comforting. They have felt sick and gotten well. They've been lonely, hidden in their shame. They felt not included in the warmth of their group or communities. They've taken time to sit with a friend, to listen deeply without interruption, wept angry tears over loss and injustice, somewhere close or far away. They've taken less for themselves and given more, knowing that this is all of compassion. In silence, giving thanks to the people in our lives today. Noticing, appreciating their energy. Once they gave $1, a sandwich, or a smile, even if they didn't have it to give. They looked up recipes and prepped meals to feed those they love. They are busy. They are tired. They have held a child in their lap and pushed an elder in a chair. They were that child asking for a story, and will hope that they'll be that elder, vibrant and thoughtful. They've turned upside down a shovel of dirt to honor someone they love, knowing that this is truest loving kindness. In silence, giving thanks for those here with us, noticing and appreciating their presence. They've been confused, tired, and scared, said something they didn't mean, mixed up emails, text, or a post, gotten angry and forgotten to breathe, been distracted, had an accident, woke up in the middle of the night to regret something they've said, apologized and made it right, listened when they wanted to jump in, said, yes, that makes sense. I see your point. How hard for you. They've traveled across town, across the aisle, and across the world. They've longed for, agitated for, true and lasting peace in all the lands, knowing that this is great peace. And in silence, giving thanks to the people in our lives today. Beautiful job today. We'll take the deepest breath of our day so far. As we start to come back into our space, start to come back to feeling our body and where it's resting in our own room, the air around us. We'll take the deepest breath of our day so far. And then as you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. We'll flutter the eyes open, and in your own time and in your own way, start to come up to an upright position facing me. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely week ahead of you, and I look forward to seeing you in class soon. Thank you.